Welcome back. Welcome back. It's the Friday edition, Pastor Byron Ellis Refreshing Church. Here it is. Here it is. Refreshing Reflection Brief. We're doing the Friday edition of it. We're going to finish this out for this week before we get into our next sermon series. The next sermon is going to be on Sunday. I want you all to be in the house on Sunday. This Sunday, come here, 355 East on 115th Street, the great city of Chicago at 10:30. Be here in the house. Be ready to worship the God of our salvation. Come on. As a matter of fact, don't wait till you get here to have him in your midst. Bring him with you. Bring the Lord with you. Watch how that works out. God will do amazing things. All right, we are still in this week's sermon, which was recommissioned through reconciliation. Recommissioned through reconciliation. Look how that tags along and how it goes along. You're being recommissioned through reconciliation. You're being reconciled so you can be recommissioned. Because sometimes you get out of place and now you got to get recommissioned. But if you get out of place, you fall out of faith or fall out of favor, or you fall out and doing something you shouldn't do, now you got to be reconciled. So the reconciliation is for your recommissioning. Yeah, because you got to have a heart for it. You got to have a heart for reconciliation. Because a lot of times we don't want to reconcile. I feel my feeling. I like my feeling the way they feel. And when they feel, when I'm feeling some kind of way, I'm not who I need to be. I don't feel like I'm the person I could be. But sometimes you're making yourself less of the person that you ought to be than the person you thinking you should be. I need y'all to think about that for a second. All right, let's get into this. Because we're talking about Peter here. Y'all go back to yesterday version of our refreshing reflection when it talks about recommission. Recommission reignites purpose, because it's all about the purpose now. Now we're talking about reconciliation. Let's get reconciled. Coming from John chapter 21 and verse number 19. Let's take a look at verse number 19. Let's get it on the screen for you. The Bible says he spake, signifying by what death he would glorify God. And when he had spoken this, he said unto him, follow me. Now, some people can think a lot of things what that might be saying to them, but God was very clear on what he was saying. He was telling Peter what type of death that he's going to die. And sometimes you have to think about, God is not just talking about our physical death. There are some things that we die to and some things that die off of us. And could it be that he was telling him that something in him that he was probably really close to or familiar with was going to die within him? Could it be? Could it be? And sometimes when God tells you something's going to die off, you're like, no. Because remember when Peter found out, well, Jesus told him he's about to die, and Peter was like, no, bro, we ain't let that happen. I am not going to let that happen to you. They're not killing you. And what did Jesus say? Get thee behind me, Satan. I'm in my purpose right now. And if you don't understand my purpose, you are out of alignment. And that's sometimes when we don't realize that God's trying to put us in alignment. And some of the things that we go through is going to hurt. It's going to hurt because we have an expectation. And when we don't have our expectations met, we become disappointed. And sometimes our disappointment leads to us getting our feelings hurt. That's the only kind of hurt you're really talking about. Your feelings got hurt. Get over it. Your feeling, because God's got something better on the other side of your hurt feeling. If you can get past your hurt feeling, because a lot of times we let our hurt feelings keep us from going where God is trying to send us. Because I don't want to be bothered. Now, you didn't hurt my little feelings. And since you didn't hurt my little feelings, you can't have me. Oh, well, you know what? The Lord probably saying, if I can't have you, that means the devil got you. Hey, watch yourself. I know I don't want the devil to have none of me. None of me. I really refuse to have him in my life. So I'm looking forward to my recommission so that I can do what the word is saying for tonight. Recommission requires courage to follow again. Courage to follow again. Yeah. When you feel like you're just going to fall out because things are not going the way you want them to go, God is trying to work on something in your life. and probably trying to work you out of something. That's something inside of you that's holding you, keeping you from excelling, keeping you from going to greater heights. Maybe that thing that's holding you back needs to die. And sometimes we are holding so close to that because we're so familiar with it that it's become a part of what we like holding on to. And when we like holding on to something like that, what happens? It's hard. It gets hard when that thing dies. It's hard. I go back to my trip to LA and that New Year's night, and I wanted to go out. And she pretty much convinced me no. Yeah, it was convincing, even though it was an order. And being a soldier, I knew how to take orders. Yeah, even if they do come from your grandma. Yeah, so I took the orders. And when you take the orders, that means that you don't do that according to your feelings. It has nothing to do with your feelings anymore. It's all about the purpose. What is the purpose of it? And if you understand the purpose of it, you can get out of your feeling. And when you get out of your, stop thinking you're so smart about everything. Something, we don't know everything. And even the person that's speaking to you may not even know what they're telling you, but what they're telling you, you need to know. Because God will just give you information. That's what he did to Peter. When Jesus told him, flesh and blood had not revealed this to you, but this came from my Father, which is in heaven. God still speaks through us. And if he says it out of mouths of babes and suckling, if the babe and the suckling, they give you some information, do you think God stopped talking? No, God is still talking today. He talks through his vessels. He speaks through his vessels. So this recommissioning that you're going through, it's going to require you to have some courage to follow again. Get back in line again. Stop thinking that, oh, people going to look at me a certain way. It's not about your reputation. It's about your salvation. And what does salvation mean? That you might be saved. Yes, granted, you're saved. But are you getting all your crowns? Are you getting all your rewards? See, what you do in this world is going forward. The Bible says your works do follow, which means when you fall in alignment with what God has for you, they go forward for you. And they meet you when you get to the kingdom. And you get to the kingdom, you go to your room, you got a room full of crowns. Or you're going to go to the kingdom and you got 1 or 2 crowns. What do you want? Those crowns that are accumulated were not accumulated on your feelings. They were accumulated on your faith. My brothers and sisters, that's what we're talking about tonight. Recommission requires courage. And courage will break through that wall of always wanting things your way. Courage will break you through that. Because a lot of times we don't have the courage because we have courage to keep ourselves from experiencing those other things in life because we don't think we have the courage to do that, but we got enough courage to keep ourselves from it. Now, you got to get out and experience that thing. You got to let it go. Why? Because it takes courage to follow again after a failure. When what you invested in didn't work, though you gave it your best, it didn't work. It takes courage to lead again after a disappointment. When those who were supposed to be there for you, they didn't even show up. It takes courage to trust again after a heartbreak. There are times when you're going to have to learn how to get back up on that horse and ride it again. It takes courage to believe again after a loss. You know, I don't care what kind of loss it was. God will allow loss to teach you about gain. Sometimes we don't know how to gain until we had a loss. And sometimes we don't know we need to gain until that loss has come up. There's something that happens when we recognize that we don't have it all. And sometimes when we lose that which we have, God will show us that you can get that and more if you don't faint. Don't let your faith fail. Don't let your faith fail. Don't. Because Jesus, he's calling his leaders to rise again throughout all of these circumstances, throughout all of these disappointments. When Jesus says, follow me, he's not just saying, come with me. No. He's saying, become with me. My brothers and sisters, this is it for tonight. And I pray that you have a wonderful weekend. And come on out, because Sunday, it's not about the weekend. It's because Sunday's coming. And I'm so glad when I get to the house of worship once again. God bless you all. You all have a lovely rest of the night and have a lovely Saturday. And I pray to see you here Sunday, 355 East on 115th Street at 10.